Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast, the audio version of our Facebook Live series, Art Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and I am so excited that you're here to catch the weekly replay of my laid-back yet very inspiring conversations with other full-time professional artists. The purpose of this series is to show aspiring artists like you that it is completely possible to make a great career out of this art thing. And if you ever want to join us live and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see you there. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time art business. I've been a professional artist for over 5 years with paintings in several different countries and a client list that includes high-profile companies such as Bass Pro, O'Reilly's, Duck Commander, and many, many more. So I figured out what it takes to build an art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. Go to advancedmember.com, that's advancedmember.com to learn more. Happy Thanksgiving! So, I fully realize that you guys are probably not listening to this on Thanksgiving Day. However, I wanted to put this podcast episode out here on this day, mainly because I wanted to talk to you about this holiday window painting strategy. And the minute Thanksgiving is over, like right now, is when people are starting to think about Christmas. It is the prime time. So those few days, even the week right after Thanksgiving, is prime time for window painting. After about a week has passed, people aren't really into it as much because they'll think, well, we only have, there's only 3 weeks till Christmas. I don't want to pay a couple $100 for it to only be up for 3 weeks. However, right after Thanksgiving is over, people are like, all right, it's Christmas time, and people will likely, or businesses will likely pay for a little holiday cheer on their windows. So I'm going to talk to you today about just how to go about window painting, and I know that window painting is not rocket science. However, there are a few tips and tools that I use that make it go just extremely smooth. And I also want to shout out, so in the Artist Academy Advanced, Jen, today, we were messaging back and forth on Facebook Messenger about the fact that she used holiday window painting to make her first $100 in her art business. How amazing is that? And she texted me that, or messaged me on Facebook Messenger, and I it brought me back to the time when I was younger, and I remember getting that first dollar exchange for someone buying my art, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like that excitement, and that's what she has right now, and I think it's just amazing. And that's my goal with students being in the Artist Academy Advanced, is I want them to make back more money than they're putting into it. That's my goal for the holiday season and next year as well. So her sending me that, her using the strategies that we've learned in the past couple months of her being in the academy. So I gave this holiday window painting idea to them a few weeks ago. I would say not quite a month ago, but a few weeks ago. I think it was right after Halloween. And I was like, hey guys, I'm making a post. This is what you can do. And I got some holiday window paintings for the locals here who are students, and so I gave them a couple jobs that way. And then I said, hey, anybody that's not local, use my words exactly, use my photos exactly, I don't care. Just pitch yourself online, in email, in person, whatever you need to do for holiday window painting, because it is an easy quick buck around the holidays and a great way to promote your art business. And Jen did it. She did just that. She did exactly what I told her, and she is just a rock star in that. Sometimes, like, if I'm like, hey, send this email, she'll literally copy and paste my my words in my email, switch a couple things around and send it, and that's exactly what I want them to do. Like, I've already, invented the wheel, I guess, with what works and what doesn't. So I'm like, use my words, and Jen did that, and she got a job. How amazing is that? So yeah, I just wanted to shout Jen out really quick, and how amazing is that? She made her first $100 in her art business through strategies that we're doing in the Artist Academy Advanced. Shameless plug in that, but I'm so excited that, because she's out there doing the work. And yeah, okay, so let's just get into it. So yeah, I mentioned that this is a great way to promote your business during the holiday season, and that's basically because, okay, so I say this with street art all the time, and this is kind of similar to street art in that, like, it's in a public place. People are going to see it. The customers of the business are going to see it. You can't pay for marketing that has people going up to it that says, oh, I love that, or, oh, wow, that's so cool. You can't pay for reactions like that with normal marketing and normal businesses. We are so just lucky in the art field that we get to express, or we get to invoke an emotion through people with our art. So when people see the holiday window paintings on the side of a business on the windows, they're going to likely go by and be like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. They'll either see your signature, some will, some won't, some will just admire it, but some will likely have businesses of their own, and they'll say, oh my gosh, I need to contact them, or they'll walk in and be like, hey, who did your windows? So you just having your art out there on a business window is just amazing marketing for your business. Like, you can't get that. Like, there's no vacuum ad or real estate sign or Branson show, and I say that because I live very close to Branson, Missouri, in Springfield. But so there are billboards of the Branson shows everywhere, and they're great and all, but we create beautiful images on windows, and people look at them and say, oh my gosh, I love that. Like, that doesn't happen with other marketing strategies. You can't pay for that. And it's so amazing that we're getting paid to do this, and it is in turn working for us. And that when you do these holiday paintings for these businesses, that also, it gets you in with that business. So whenever you pitch yourself to a business and say, hey, I do holiday window painting, I would love to do this for you. Everybody loves to display their Christmas spirit. And so, I mean, unless they're like a Scrooge or something, but with a business, if their customers are going to like it, the business will like it. And customers love Christmas, and likely the business owner will too. But so you going up and pitching this is such an easy yes. It's one of the easiest pitches you'll probably do, because it's relatively low cost. I mean, you're not going to get paid $1,000 to paint a couple windows. Likely, maybe you can, I don't know, but likely. And we'll go through pricing in just a second, but it's a typically lower cost, although I still make at least $50 an hour when I do this, like minimum. And I made $30 an hour when I first started out several years ago. So if you're looking for what you can make in that, that's just kind of a $30 an hour, $50 an hour if you're a bit faster, something like that. But what is happening when you pitch yourself to this business, it's an easy yes for most businesses. And what happens is you do a little bit of painting for them, and then the next time they need a painting project done in 2020 or beyond, they're going to call you. Like, you doing this little project for them, it's kind of like, okay, so Amy Hoover, I just interviewed her, and she called it a gateway drug. So I'm just going to call it that. It's kind of referencing a gateway drug into it, but they buy something small from you, and they will maybe, I say likely, but maybe, they will likely buy a bigger painting from you later on, or commission you to do something, or a painting project that they have, like a logo, whatever. This is a really good I guess we could say, entry point into meeting a new customer for the first time. Also, business owners have business owner friends. So it is very likely that a business owner friend will hear about it through this friend and be like, oh my gosh, I want this in my business. How can I get a hold of her? And they will give her, I say her. I always make my people female, I think. Anyway, so they will likely give her your card and they will contact you. And that has happened. So I had a local holiday painting job at Pasta Express. If you guys know what that is, it's a kind of fast food. Not quite. I don't want to call it fast food, but it's Pasta Express, basically. It's great. So they have been my client for a while. And they're like, hey, we would love the holiday window painting. Since I made a post about it on social media, they saw it and like, hey, we would love that. So I gave it to one of my Arts Academy Advanced students, Lacey. I was like, hey, can you complete this project? She's like, yeah, sure. Drove up for the day and completed it, went back, and then since then, she left her card there. And since then, I know this because she messaged me. It was like, oh my gosh, I got more jobs from it. The owner of there gave out her card to someone who came in and asked, who did your windows? I want them done too. Or a friend. I'm actually not sure if it was just a walk-in or if it was a friend. And he gave her her card, and she got more business from it. So it's very much a cascading thing. You do one, then you're going to do another one. People hear about it. People like it. Who doesn't love holiday window painting? Also, this actually worked for our Arts Academy Advanced student, Lissa. She was on this like little block, and she did some holiday window paintings for a bar. So she did some like beer mugs and Santa hats and kind of thing. Like she like went into this very like kind of niched holiday window painting. She customized it. I think that's what I'm trying to say. She customized it for that business, and then the business right across the street saw it. It was like, hey, you can come over here if you want and pay, or we'll pay you to do holiday windows. She's like, sure. And then the business right across the street from them called her over. So she got this whole block from just doing one window. I'm telling you, it is like, it repeats. One person will see it, another business owner will see it, another person, and you're going to be super busy. So I'd say if it's a little late this year, and if you're hearing this a little late, I'm sorry, but block off next year. Just take like the whole week before Thanksgiving, before and after, and just block it off, because you can fill your schedule with holiday window painting so easily. Okay, so actually, let's just get into pricing. So at first, I was like, who is going to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for something that sticks on your window, but it's ultimately going to be removed? Like, at first I was like, are people going to actually pay for this? I don't know. But they will. And it's not a crazy thing. You're not going to make like $100 or $200 an hour, like maybe some jobs, but you will be paid. And usually it is over $100. So typically, I'd say this year I did one for $150. I did one for $300, and actually I'm doing one on Friday, so a couple days after Thanksgiving. I'm doing that one for $500, but that's a lot more space than normal. So I mean, from $150 to $500, like, people will pay for it. People really like Christmas. Okay, also, a couple tips on how to go about window painting. Like, so, okay, so you got the job, you pitched yourself, you told them the pricing, they said yes, so you're about to go do it, and you're like, wait, how do I do it? So I use really, really cheap acrylic paint. And you might be like, what? Will it stay on? Yes, it will stay on. It will stay on if it rains. It'll stay on with the cold. Acrylic flexes really well and on glass. So when you're painting on glass, the glass will get cold and it'll get warm with the sun, so it flexes. Whereas an oil paint, if you put it on there, it doesn't move at all. But an acrylic will flex with the glass. At the same time, when it comes to removing that acrylic, that is the job of the business. It's not the job of you, or it's not your job. And so you can just tell them no big deal. Whenever you're done with it in a month or two or whenever, you can remove it fairly easily with a bunch of soap, water, and a little elbow grease. Like it'll stick on pretty well, but it'll come off too. It's not permanent at all. So yeah, okay, so when I'm using these cheap acrylics, I prefer cheap acrylics, not because they're inexpensive and I get more revenue in total with that, but they are really watered down. So if you know paint, so acrylic paint, let's say, the more expensive the tube is, the less water is in the tube, basically, if you didn't know that. If you did, I'm just telling you something you already knew. So when you buy the really cheap acrylics, they're really watered down. And I like it because then I don't have to add water. I can pour it straight on my tray or straight on my whatever I'm using to paint with, and I dip my brush in it and I put it straight on the window and it just glides on that window. It is so smooth. And so, but with it being smooth, it can kind of get kind of thin. So when I put it on there, sometimes I'll put a double layer, not always, just because window painting does not have to be perfect. It just has to look good or look like it should. So when I put it on there, excuse me, so I'll put it on, it can be a little transparent, so I'll actually use that to do layers. So say I'm painting a Christmas tree. Okay, so just imagine in your head, you are all artists, you have an imagination, I know you can do this. So imagine a Christmas tree. So I take my paintbrush, dip it in the paint, and I start from the top and work my way down. So I will start at the top and just make some like little tick marks, and I'll start from the inside and work my way out. So I'll put my brush down and then just kind of angle it out and lift the brush up as it goes. And then I keep doing that motion and layering it on there as I go down. So I'm using the brush and the paint to mimic the shape and just the way everything flows on that tree, so that it's so fast and so easy. It's kind of hard to explain it just with my voice rather than just show you, but I think you can kind of get the idea. So I make shapes as they are on the tree. So like say I am also making a snowman. And so snowmen are circular, right? So I'm going to move my brush on there in a circular way, or move it from top to bottom, rounded, as you go around it, and just round it, your brush as it goes around. You guys kind of get it? So I'm not like going and coloring in a snowman like horizontal and then vertical and just coloring it like that, because that would look like a mess. You want everything to look smooth. So when you're doing a snowman with that, you're just going to go circle around that, so it all looks really smooth. Of course, you can wait until it dries, which will take no time, especially if you're in the sun. So if the sun is shining on the glass, it will make the glass much hotter, and it will dry in like 20 minutes, maybe. However, since it is cold out, if there's no sun and it's cold and it's below 45 degrees, your paint will take a very long time to dry. And I actually do not recommend you painting if it's in shade constantly below 45 degrees. They say that the paint will not cure properly. I've never tried it. I don't want to try it. I just kind of try to wait until, it's at least 50 degrees outside or has direct sun, because it could be 30 degrees outside, but if it has direct sun on it, that stuff is drying super fast. So yeah, just a little caution. Okay, let's see. Also, one more tip, and then I think we basically got everything covered. One more tip is to, when you're going for a design, a lot of people, they like Christmas stuff. However, if you keep it strictly to a winter wonderland kind of theme, so tons of white, snowy trees, all of that stuff, it can be kept up for longer than after December 25th. So if you do mostly, I don't know, snowmen is okay, piles of snow, snowballs, trees, snowflakes, books, icicles, all of that. And icicles are super quick, fast, and look really cute. So if you want to do icicles like on the top of the windows, that's always a good one. That's like my go-to filler. But if you keep it strictly winter, you can pitch it to them and be like, hey, because if they're like, well, $300, it's kind of a lot. I'd be like, well, I could just keep it Winter Wonderland and you could keep it up for 2 months. And they'd be like, oh, okay. And can sometimes be the tipping point of getting someone to say yes. So, however, if they love Christmas and they're like, nope, I want Santa, like right in front there, they go for it, whatever. Like it'll last a month, but they're going to love it the whole month. So it just doesn't, it's up to the customer. Also, okay, yeah, so actually this is the last one. How to go about pitching yourself. So my Artist Academy Advanced students get a script to send to businesses. So basically the exact script that I use, word for word, like I mentioned Jen did in the beginning. So this script, it will first get the business's attention, and then you'll pitch your idea. So you're going to say something like, hey, hi, I have an idea for window painting, blah, blah, blah. Would you like it? And then you're going to pitch yourself. So don't send someone a book to read. I always say that tip. Nobody wants to read the book if they're not even really sure who the author is. So if nobody has any idea who you are, they hadn't seen your stuff before, you're going to just see if they're interested. And then once they say, okay, yeah, maybe, then you pitch, show them images and all of that. So that's just one tip. Again, if you're in the Artist Academy Advanced, you know this because I told you about this weeks ago and you're out there and you're already doing it. However, this has been such a good just strategy in the Artist Academy Advanced. I was like, okay, I feel a little bad if I just keep this to myself, honestly. Like I kind of struggle with the balance of teaching in my community and in my membership, but also giving out information to the masses because I really want to help literally everyone, and this is a brilliant idea. Like this went over way better than I thought it was going to, honestly. Like everybody, a lot of people in the Artist Academy Advanced are painting windows for the first time and making extra cash for the holidays, and I was like, okay, this is going over so well. I can't keep it in here, so I wanted to give this bit of information to you all. Also, I'm not going to give you the script that I use or anything, and the Artist Academy Advanced got the added bonus of knowing about it weeks ago, but I wanted to give you something, and which is why I made a flyer for holiday window painting. It's really simple. It's really effective because since it has images as the main component of it, which is, if you show someone an image of something you can do, or even like a Google image of something that maybe not be yours, but so that's of something that you are very capable of doing, that's okay. So if you've never done holiday window painting before, you can use Google Images to promote it. I'm giving you permission. If they ask, did you do this? Be like, nope, but I can. And that's really all they want to know. Can you do the job? And just so you can show them examples of something you can do. And also the flyer has pricing on it. I say just start at $100. That way people know you're serious. They know you're not for free. And they know it's going to cost them at least $100 if they want it done well by an artist. Whether you're a full-time professional artist or a hobby artist, you're an artist and you deserve to get paid. So you say that right on the flyer. Also on the flyer, it has so basically the things people ask are, how much does it cost and how can I remove it? So you put that straight on the flyer. You be super open with them. So that way they read it and you don't have to answer that question a million times. And on the bottom, it just says it can be removed with soap, water, and elbow grease by the business. So that way you are not expected to come out there in the midst of January when it's 20 degrees out and remove holiday window painting. So yeah, I have a link to the flyer. All you do is insert your email and you can download it and you can tweak it to say whatever you want, but this is the exact flyer that I use. basically says, "'Tis the season for holiday window painting by Andrea Earhart," or by insert your name, and it has photos and a little bit of information, and you can find that in the link that is with this podcast. I also am going to put it in my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram and you go to the link in my profile, there will be a holiday window painting flyer in there. So you can go there, or right where you're listening to this podcast, there is a link in the details in the description. Click on it, download it, and go pitch yourself to get some extra cash this holiday season. Like I said, this is one of the easiest pitches you will ever make, and it's one of the most fun projects you will ever do. So yeah. Okay, I just wanted to spread this little bit of knowledge on Thanksgiving. I hope you use it. And also, if you use this strategy and you do some of your first holiday window paintings, please send them to me. I would love to see them. I love to know that people are listening and taking action. It seriously makes my day. Just like Jen messaged me today saying that she got her first $100 painting windows. That it seriously makes my day. I get all giddy with her. So please send me your holiday window paintings. Probably on Instagram is the easiest way to reach me. Also, shameless plug at the end of it, if you review this podcast, if it is helpful, if this podcast has helped you in any way, and you review it on Apple Podcasts, if you send me a screenshot of that review, I will shout you out on my Instagram story of over 50,000 followers. So I will put your art on my story as a thank you for helping me helping you. Kind of a thing. Okay. All right, I'm out of here. I'm about to go pick up my little with Big Brothers Big Sisters. We hang out every Wednesday. But yeah, this is actually going to air on Thursday, so I probably shouldn't say that. Anyway, okay, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving and holiday. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time art business. I've been a professional artist for over 5 years with paintings in several different countries and a client list that includes high-profile companies such as Bass Pro, O'Reilly's, Duck Commander, and many, many more. So I figured out what it takes to build an art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. Go to advancedmember.com, that's advancedmember.com to learn more. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Also, if you ever want to join us live and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop on over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'll see you next week.